Hey guys, French Per here. So today is no gameplay. There is no gameplay. I'll just be talking about three things. First, as you can see on the screen, Tru3ta1ent. He played Evil Dead the past days, and that's interesting. There are some things to say about that, I think, from someone who played this game for a year now, yeah? Yeah, Game of the Year, right? It's been a year. And then I will talk about the balance, the next update, well, what I'm hoping for, the current questions we all have. And I will finish up with, by talking about leaders. I made some interesting poll, and I think there is interesting things to say about that as well. So first, Tru3ta1ent. He started streaming on Every Dead a bit, and there are reasons for that. And I think it's interesting, but there's some things I don't want from Tru3ta1ent and his community. So let's just directly take a look. That's his YouTube right there. Very cool. So he started uploading videos about Every Dead from his streams. Those are highlights if I'm correct. So at first he came in with, something like, okay, gameplay. So basics are fun, basics are relentless. So that's pretty much. Hey, by the way, I suggest that if you're a new player, really a new player, you check out his videos. Otherwise, an experienced player, I don't think would learn a lot from him, or maybe he would, from his, if he were to watch him progress, you know. So then he started, like a few days later, I guess, he started to upload a video with apparently the best build. New Baal Demon best build updated. Well, you have to assume it is his best build because I doubt that he knows enough to make the best build. Then, okay, Tru is starting to get good. The Skimmer versus Prestige 10 team. And the last one, New Demon Baal, fastest win ever, world record. Wow. Yeah, that's amazing, right? I mean, basically, there is no data about the world record. So anybody can come up and be like, hey, that's a world record. Because there is no data. So don't pay attention to that. I'm sure a lot of ball mains, sweetie ball mains, did better than that easily, considering his experience. And this is pretty much RNG, and yeah. So yeah, if someone is new and he watch those titles, he will be like, damn, Tru is a beast at this game, yeah? This is so good, Prestige 10 team. And that can go up to 20, by the way. But anyways, other than that, this is just Tru making content. It's funny and it's great. He's bringing his community. He's kind of linking DBD with Evil Dead a bit by doing those videos, which is awesome. He so last day there were 2,000, there were 2,000 viewers on Every Dead because of him. So he's doing good. Yeah, it's really good for the game and for us. If we like the game and we want more updates, content creators like him or streamers like him coming to the game and streaming, advertising it in some way. It's also good for him. He's getting views, but it's good for the game. So that's awesome. I just hope, but that's now the dark point. I hope he doesn't bring the the stupid part of his community that just keep using words such as untitled. Yeah, untitled survivor and things like that. Just keep it. He could just keep it in his garbage. Not don't bring that in either. We think the community is great and it should stay that way. So yeah, that was the little talk about Tru3ta1ent. But yeah, overall, it's good to have streamers like him. And yeah, so now the balance. Um, I think the balance. Okay, what happens? The biggest, I would say, the major change about the balance. That was not in the patch notes or anything, but the MMR got switched from prioritizing levels to region and matchmaking speed, which is awesome because the the change they did with the matchmaking, this is why Tru3ta1ent is playing the game now. This is why so many players are coming back to the game. Finding matches quickly is very important for new players. You don't want new players to be bored of the game and to have what we had like a month ago, like 10-minute queues as a survival. You don't want that. So for the ones complaining about the MMR, you are wrong in my opinion, because hey, if you want the game to be updated and to keep getting balance changes and whatever else you want, they need more players. So the game needs to be attractive, and currently MMR does not fit the game. MMR through skill, at least, it doesn't fit. Not yet. The game doesn't have a big enough player base, or it's not built, well enough yet. So there is that. And I think it's the major part of the balance as well. Many people like to dismiss the matchmaking when they talk about the balance, but you cannot, like, if you're a demon, you cannot deny that most of your matches will be extremely easy just because of the MMR. It is part of the balance. So right now I would say demons, they have an edge over survivors in most of the games. Do they have an edge against in like 5%, if not 1% of the matches for some demons? No, they don't. Some teams are impossible to beat, and it is how it is. But overall, I would say the game is slightly demon-sided currently. I am not sure. I mean, as someone who plays solo queue often, it is clearly demon-sided, like 1000%. Especially these days, solo queue is a nightmare for an experienced player. And very fun for the demon though. I believe demons having fun right now, most of them at least. And yeah, so that's what I wanted to say about the balance. Now the next update. There have been talks, rumors and all, that the developers will stop after this. They don't want to continue. Well, I think themselves they're asking these questions to themselves right now. They just put an update. They put it out. I think the cost was like 10 euros, $10, whatever. And now, just like us, they're going to question themselves. Did we get enough money from this update, from this DLC, I guess? Can we continue? Is it profitable? Is it good for us to continue? So I don't think they know either, so just support the game, and considering that people like Tru3ta1ent and the game has been advertised quite well. I believe the sales for the DLC have been successful. It would be nice for them to at least tell us that, hey, the DLC sold well, we plan to continue. So we will see what they say next and soon, hopefully. It would be nice if they communicate a little bit more. Like they advertised this DLC quite well for once. Last times were terrible. This time they really hyped it well and all. And yeah, so I would say that from what I'm seeing, they're going to continue and to bring us more and more. How much? That we need to see what they have to say. Or we need to see what the next update is, because that's a big question mark. Unlike the previous updates where we knew what we wanted and we knew what was expected, there is a lot of doubts. There is Chet, who is probably the upcoming possible survivor, but I am not sure yet. There is a movie, Every Dead Rise as well, which can bring new characters, and I bet they are trying to get them. So yeah, lots of interesting possibilities, I would say, about the next update. Now, and that's the most interesting subject for me. I wanted to talk about leaders. So I made a poll. Let's press previous twice. Hey, it's my channel here. Looks cool, eh? French Reaper. What's this guy? What's this? So I made two polls. First, what side are you on in Evil Dead the game? So 42% survivor, 14% demon only, and 44% play both. You know what's so interesting about this is if you wonder why most of the updates are for the survivors, the DLC that, give them money to continue. That's why most of the people play Survivor. That's where most of their money comes from. That's why we got both a Survivor and a Demon, not just a Demon. Because if they only release a Demon, I don't think they're going to get as much money, and this is not good for them. Basically, I don't think this is a good business strategy, whatever you want to call it. So if you're a Demon main and you wonder why you didn't get that much content yet, that's why. That's because they just want the game to be successful, and for that they need money from us. And yeah, 42% want to serve a DLC, basically, yeah. So now the interesting part. So leaders. Leaders extremely fun to play. I believe they are their meta right now. Any of them. They are super fun just because of the fear meta that is going on. So I made this poll. I asked people who is the best leader and why, if they want to say why. 78 votes. I think it's okay. It's a good number. So I love Arthur. He's my main leader. And you guys gave him 3%. What the fuck? That's what I wanted to say first. I mean, he didn't even get 10%. 3%. What the hell, guys? He's my main leader. I made a video, but I guess it's not. Yeah, it's hard to convince people of something that is not true. So let's look at what you guys had to say there. But by phone this way, that will be better. Yeah, I will just try to read what you had to say, and from it to make my opinion and be like, hey, okay, that's the best leader, that's the second one, and yeah. So Tony's Co. Every competitive match goes down to the book. Yeah, competitive matches, yeah, it does. I would say 99%. Sometimes you can end the game before that, but it's rare, yeah. The best leader you can bring to the book is Ruby. She gives a 28%.4. Okay, that's a very good, bringing numbers is good, it's always useful. CDR, cooldown reduction. Okay, so basically Ruby. Ruby, very good damage, 28%. Cooldown reduction, which depending on the team comp makes Ruby really strong. Yeah, so a lot of things with Ruby. Leader Ash is the goat in a coordinated team, but all the leaders are very good. It's true, they're all so close. Annie has the most scary potential though, in my opinion. So someone here for Annie, that's good. Depending, Annie with Hash, I think is a very crazy comp for book. I think Hash himself is insane on book. Without anything else that buffs him, makes him even more insane and makes the whole team more insane. Ruby fits, so Ruby fits every comp versatility. Arthur is good, and yeah, I love him as well. He's the most weak leader. I don't think any leaders are weak. I think that's like the other guy said here. All the leaders are very good. That's the thing. That's why it is difficult to say which one is best. Buff, fire guns, Brock. Yeah, Brock is everyone here is talking about Brock because he's new, and it's hard to say because he shows potential and he's a bit confusing. Like those numbers, everyone gets something, but nothing crazy basically. I think that if nobody has been able to say that he's very good, but because he's not, even though we don't know yet, it's a fair assessment. Lash is fair Daniel prevents power leveling. That was the best argument I found from you guys, from Evildeadthegame. From the demon perspective, not being able to level up, and the thing is, what happens before the book affects the book as well. It does too. So the lack of levels and the fact that survivors will have so much resources thanks to Lash, and like the demon not leveling up, the consequence is survivors will have more loot at book and they will be more chill, you know? They won't have to worry about anything else other than the book itself, so it does matter as well. Okay, flat damage boost is easy to achieve through finishers. Well, currently there is a bug with Leader Ash, and you do not get as much damage as you should, because normally, if you do a heavy melee attack, 50%, you have a 50% chance to trigger his LGFA Grande, so his bigger buff, for like 8 seconds. It's just like a finisher, same as a finisher. But sadly, it does not work against Baal units. I don't know why, but I will not consider that. I will just consider it does work. So yeah, one interesting thing though, Arthur is the only one who can trigger his ability when he wants. A little, actually, no, he's not the only one. Ruby can too, but Ruby not as often. And Arthur on the book could possibly get it the whole 2 minutes, his ability. One little thing. Hey, something I didn't see yet. Ruby just because of book. So another person thinks Ruby is the best at book. Plus, if you have a Harsh gets mentioned again on your team. He gets extra exorcism because of her, which can be vital. Yeah, that's insane. If you have a Harsh, and the thing, I think he's the most common hunter used, so it's fair to talk about him because he is used in most of the games. I thought about it. We have Kelly who is used sometimes, but Harsh is the most common one. So you cannot not consider him when you think about leaders. It's it's Annie solely because of Morstik. I don't know how to say his name, so I'm sorry how to read that. Well, yeah, very good. I mean, Annie at some point was considered the best leader, the, the best leader, and Leader Ash was there as well. So I think in the current meta, it's hard to say, but Annie has been forgotten a bit. She might just be the best one as well. Brock can be the best leader when you have 3 Williams in your team, but otherwise Ash is the strongest. So someone else thinks Ash. So what I think from this is Ash is a clear favorite, and for good reasons, like the arguments about from the demon perspective, he's a nightmare, or he can be a nightmare, let's put it this way. Then Ruby, Annie, both have something a bit crazy. Like Ruby gives damage to both sides that is really, really, really high at book, at least. She gives it at book. I would say it's higher than it's higher. It's higher than Leader Ash overall, but it's pretty much the same. But yeah, and then Annie gives balance bar, which is insane when you think about it. So they're very similar, and it would be hard for me to say which one is better. Ruby gives them this resistance as well, which matters very much during the game, but the balance bar is kind of similar if everyone is picking a sledgehammer, and stun units extremely quickly. This also is just as useful as having damage resistance. It's tricky to say, so I would put them on the same level almost. Ruby might just be slightly above. Then we have, Arthur. To me, his damage, I am a warrior man, and because of that, I would say that Arthur is underestimated a lot. His sword and his ability to stun enemies better than other leaders, except Annie. I would say they're on par. Like Annie gives 10% to the whole team, but Arthur by himself provides more than this 10% because if he has a sword, he's faster. He will benefit the team more on his own than this 10% almost. So Arthur isn't as bad as people think. I think he's almost as high as Ruby and Annie. Brock to me would be, people want to think he's good because currently everyone plays him, so it's hard to say he's bad, right? But I think Arthur is above him slightly because nobody has been really able to say that Brock is extremely good except with 1 or 2 team comps. And then we have Lido Ash, who, yeah, I think he's the best because of from the demon perspective, he also has some balance bar advantage with his ability and all. He has damage advantage, which can be game changing too. The fear, leads to a very chill book phase, anti-fear. So yeah, that's what I think about leaders. It's a bit confusing. There is a lot of information at the same time, but I think you get it. So yeah, that's the end of this long video. Thanks for watching, and well, what do you think about all that? Yeah, see you next time. Bye.